Good morning, everyone. Let's start our class today with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. We ask thy presence at our class today. May we feel in attunement with thee and feel thy divine guidance and power flowing through us now and always. Om Shanti Shanti. Let's hear a song by Swamiji, Blessed the Life, and then an excerpt from a talk by Swamiji on this topic. Don't forget where your power comes from. Welcome again, friends.
Blessed, blessed, the life that is given to God. Blessed, blessed, the ways where his feet have trod. All the joys that human heart can know, may his love on you bestow. May all dangers from your path be moved, all delusion by his truth is proved. Blessed, blessed, the life that is given to God. Blessed, blessed, the heart open to his love. Blessed, blessed, the light that shines from above. All the wealth for which men ever schemed, all the beauty ever dreamed, all the gains for which men sigh and mourn will be harvested in God alone. Blessed, blessed, the light open to his love.
When you work, if liberation in God is what you want, then live in that consciousness now. Don't think, well, I hope that sometime it's going to happen, but in the meantime, I got to do what I can. No, think that you have him right now. People often say, when will I get God? It's sort of this negative thought that, God, I've been on this path for a year and he hasn't come yet. Think that you have him right now, and when you work with that consciousness that he is working through you. Work with that consciousness that you are not even doing it at all. You have to do it, yes. If you just sit back and wait for someone to type that letter for you, it won't get typed. But at the same time, feel that it's his power that you're using, and you'll find it a lot easier if you keep as much as possible this thought that you are much bigger than this little ego. Dwell on that thought of infinity. Dwell on that feeling. When you close your eyes every now and then, it would be good to do that at your work, just for a few moments. Close your eyes and feel something bigger. And when you can be quiet, Try to feel the room around you. Try to feel the people moving around you. You'll become more and more sensitive the more you act in this way. And then as you act, it becomes as if like a funnel, with a very big opening and a very small exit. And so all this consciousness will begin to pour through your little brain into whatever you are doing. It's really quite amazing how much one can accomplish if he can get an attunement with that greater reality. It's the most practical teaching in the world. That you feel that there is a power sustaining you. Remember, as I said earlier, my devotee is never lost. That's what Krishna told us. Keep the thought of God always there and give your life to Him, and you will find that He will always take care of you.
Welcome again, friends. I'd like to start with a brief excerpt from Autobiography of a Yogi from the chapter, I Receive My University Degree, Master's Words. When do your AB examinations start? 5 days hence, sir. I hope you are in readiness for them, Swami Sri Teswarji says. Transfixed with alarm, sir, I protested, you know how my days have been passed with you rather than with the professors. How can I enact a farce by appearing for those difficult finals? Sri Yukteswar's eyes were turned piercingly on mine. You must appear. His cold tone was coldly peremptory. We should not give cause for your father and other relatives to criticize your preference for ashram life. You promise me that you will be present for the examinations. Answer them, the questions, the best way you can. Uncontrollable tears were coursing down my face. I felt that Master's command was unreasonable, that his interest was, to say the least, belated. I will appear if you wish it, I said amidst sobs, but no time remains for proper preparation. Under my breath, I muttered, I will fill up the sheets with your teachings and answer to the questions. Mukunda, has the Lord ever failed you at an examination or elsewhere? No, sir, I responded warmly. Grateful memories came in a revivifying flow. Not laziness, but burning zeal for God has prevented you from seeking college honors, my guru said kindly. After a silence, he quoted, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. For the 1000th time, I felt my burdens lifted in Master's presence. When I sat for the examination in English literature the following day, my first glance at the questions caused tears of gratitude to pour forth, wetting my paper. The classroom monitor came to my desk and made a sympathetic inquiry. I thought, the very questions dictated to me by my friend Ramesh, who Swami Sri Teswarji told him to see, are here on the examination paper. Then Swami Sri Teswarji says, cheer up, Mukunda. His tones were light and unconcerned. He pointed to the blue vault of the heavens. It is more possible for the sun and moon to interchange their positions in space than it is for you to fail in getting your degree. On the day I received my degree from Calcutta University, I knelt at my guru's feet and thanked him for all the blessings flowing from his life into mine. Get up, Mukunda, he said indulgently. The Lord simply found it more convenient to make you a graduate than to rearrange the sun and the moon. What a fabulous story. And how much faith it gives you in the guru when you hear these. As Master, when he was trying to come to America, when he did go to America, he didn't have a visa, he didn't have the money to go, he didn't speak English, but he said, I'm going. And he kept asking Swami Sri Teswarji's aid. He got the visa. He kept asking him for his aid again to get the money, and his father gave him the money. And then when he was on the ship going over to America and they asked him to speak, he barely knew English. I know that feeling. And so he was going, and they asked him to give a talk. And Master said yes, and he stood there and nothing came. And then he kept praying. We have to know, we've got to keep asking, and kept praying to his guru. You must help me, you must help me. And Swami Sri Teswarji's voice inside of his mind said, speak, you can speak. And all the words just flowed from him eloquently. He said he didn't know what he had said. He had to go and ask the people who were at the talk. But God's power through his guru helped him. And as Master told Swamiji, he had a great work to do. And Rajasi, these words, of course, were to Rajasi. And Master said to him, don't forget where your power comes from. Rajasi said, I won't, sir. I know it comes from you. And then Rajasi told Swamiji what Master said. He said, Walter, Master has a great work to do through you, and he will give you the strength to do it. Those are the critical words. He will give you the strength. And I think for all of us, we have to realize God's power through the guru gives us the strength. And our purification ceremony so beautifully says, open your heart to me, the Master says, and I will enter and I will take charge of your life. That power of the guru, as he takes charge of your life, you find you can do incredible things. You can teach, you can sing, you can write books or whatever it is that you need to do. You can do corporate programs. You can be a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher. You can open up a center. You can open a meditation group. I will take charge of your life. And he said the same to Dr. Lewis when he blessed Dr. Lewis and showed him the spiritual eye and the 1,000-petaled lotus. But before that, he asked him if he would love him always. And when Doctor said yes, Master rubbed his hand. He said, great, good. Now I can take charge of your life. And that's the point we have to remember. Have we opened our hearts to the guru to take charge of our lives so he can do what he wants to do through us, so he can help us in our daily activities and with our difficulties, and his power can flow through us? Have we? And I was remembering a story of one of the Guru Bhais. Yes, well, first I'll tell this other story that when I came here, when Swamiji said I should be here, and there were, in the beginning of any startup, there are difficulties, but anyway, I remember Swamiji saying, because I was like, should I go back? Should I be here? And he said very clearly, Dhyana, Master's helping you. And I thought, really? Master's helping you. And I remember he told another Guru Bhai who's living here now and helping, I feel Master wants you to be here. And this is the thing we have to remember. It's Master's plan. It's our destiny, whatever is happening. If we tune into him, we'll feel his power flowing in whatever situations. I remember another Guru Bhai who was ill. She had a surgery, and she just wasn't bouncing back. And she was just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And she's lives in America now, but she was living here in India. And finally, Swamiji called her, and her name was Ramani. And he said, Ramani, shouted in the phone, you are well. And did she get well? Yeah, she got well. That was God's power, Master's power flowing through Swamiji to help her to get well. And there was a woman who came to Master. She was a disciple. And then she decided she wanted to go somewhere else. And this happens. People come and they go, they come and they go, they do all kinds of things. And Master said there's a ray of power, of protection, of light that is around the devotees, that are around the disciples. And this lady came, and then, it wasn't long that she left. Swamiji told us the story. Maybe a year later, she came back. And she had gone somewhere else and done who knows what. She came back, and Swamiji said that power, that glow, the light that she had, he said you could see it so clearly before. When she came back, it wasn't there. It wasn't there anymore. Master's power wasn't flowing through her anymore. And another great example of this was one of the monks who he had double curvature of the spine. He had many health problems. And then think about Jnana Mata. She was in bed, but she still was serving. Master's power was flowing through her in the bed. She was still serving. So this brother, disciple, monk, he could barely get out of bed to serve. And he'd have to roll over and to stand up, roll over, get onto the floor, and then help himself to get up. Master had him on ladders. He had him on the tractor. What was he doing? He was giving him power to get well. And the man was getting better and better, more and more healthy. And then one day he said, well, I don't think I want to do this, because other people were saying, this is too hard work for you. And a lot of people feel that. I don't want to do it. I've too much to do. I'm too busy. I don't want to do it. I don't want to serve the guru. So he's told that to Master. Master said, okay, it's all right. And the man got weaker and weaker. He stopped serving. He had a nice room. He went to bed, basically, and he got very, very ill. And then he left the path. And we have to realize that we have to tune in as we are going to this point of how do we get Master's power to flow through us more? First of all, we have to ask him, pray to him. What do you want me to do? Not, I want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do. I had many things that were asked of me. I didn't particularly want to do them. But as I did them, I grew and I got stronger. I felt Master's energy and magnetism going and teaching around Europe, going throughout in different countries in Africa, going to Australia, coming here to India. It wasn't like it was my choice, but it was Master's choice. And when we choose what he wants, the power flows. It's just very clear. Well, I don't want to read the whispers at the satsang. Well, read it and you'll feel Master's power flowing. I don't feel like giving this. Well, give the satsang anyway. Do it. So first thing is to ask him, what does he want in our lives? You can ask from the spiritual eye, feel in the heart. Secondly, in meditation, make a contact. I've been saying this lately because it's so powerful. Every day, make contact with Master in your meditation, however best you can. Maybe you don't feel like you made a contact, but from your side, just Master, I'm with you. I want to know what you want in my life. I want your guidance. I want your light. I want your joy. I want your power to flow through me. Talk with him and ask him. And then finally, something that he's written or a talk or whatever, every day, read it or hear his voice or hear one of Swamiji's talks and feel that power growing in you. And I want to close with this wonderful list that I came up with of things that happened by Master's power. Now you see, I didn't put everything because it's too long, but all the Ananda communities, Ananda village, all the books Swamiji wrote, often he said, almost always, Master's writing this through me. This came from Master. Education for Life and all the schools that Ananda has, all the centers in India, everywhere were started by Master's power. All the meditation groups that we have were started by Master's power. The Hindi Sangha, the Marathi Sangha, the regional books that we have translated. Who's translating? The instruments for God and Guru, Legacy Fund, General Fund, all the departments, Yoga Teacher Training, Meditation Teacher Training, Ananda Publications, online community, home study, Vrindavan, Yogananda Trust, pilgrimages, everything we're doing is Master's blessing. And finally, I'll say, Swamiji said often here in India to us, it's not your work, it's not my work, Master and Babaji's work. And there was one time, and we followed them, is what he said. There was one time Swamiji was very ill. It was about, I think about 3 years before he left his body. And it was very interesting. A man came to Swamiji's house and he said, it was a strange thing, but these things can happen sometimes, especially in India. And he said, I've come here, was talking to Swamiji, because Babaji wanted you to know that he has extended your life so that you can keep serving your guru. And Swamiji thanked the man left. That was all that ever happened to that. But Swamiji got better, and he got better, and he got better. And you know what he did in those 3 years? A lot. But one of the main things he did was he started the Nayaswami order. That had to be started in Swamiji's lifetime. And Swamiji said, I believe that Babaji extended my life so I could do this work and start this order. So let us know that what can we do on our own? We have, if we are in attunement, we have Master's grace, his blessings, and we have his power to do anything if it's his will. Let us tune in to God and gurus, particularly God through our guru, to give us the strength and power to do his work. Let's ask, there are a couple of questions. I'll ask Nitendra to join me now on the screen.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. I will share the list of questions here. Dhyanaji, the first question is, I feel that I have to do so much to draw God's power. How can I draw it more and more easily, though?
It's a big question because there are a lot of devotees, they're disciples, then they're disciples. Honestly, they're people who aren't really putting out a whole lot of energy. And at times you can, times you can't. But when you can, do. So if you really want Master's power to flow through you more, you have to open yourself more. That's basically it. You have to be a receptacle. If you want a glass of water and you have a thimble, that's all you're going to get. If you have a bigger cup, you get more. A bigger cup, you get more. Bigger. If you have a big vessel, you'll get a lot. So basically, it takes energy and it takes time to get in tune with the guru. Taking discipleship doesn't mean now I'm totally there, I'm in tune. That's the beginning. Becoming a Kriyaban, it's the beginning, really. And so you have to want it, you have to go after it, you have to be in good company, you have to change your attitudes, you have to change your habits. Pray to the guru in your mind. You can be thinking Om Guru, all throughout the day when you have a minute in the taxi, or you can be listening to a talk. You've got to work at it. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not easy. But I've seen people who really put out the energy. They're glowing. People who are serving, serve however you can. You can't, everybody can't get to the center. You can do prayers for people. You could do something. I was just in Jaipur this weekend with the group there, and it was our first Kriyaban retreat in Hindi. And, we, of course, went over Kriya, did the Kriya checking, all that. But then we turned it into, also, we said, you've got to serve. You can't just be saying, I'm doing Kriya and I'm going to get liberated. You're going to do more than that. So several of the people in the group said, I want to start a group meditation group in my house. What a blessing. What a blessing. Instead of turning on the TV all evening, get people to meditate with you. That's a way to serve. You start opening yourself more in seva and satsang and everything, chanting and all. Master can come in more strongly. Remember, he said to the one lady, she said, I don't feel you as much as the others feel you. He said, Huck, if you shut the door, how can I come in? So you have to open the door, no? Doesn't come easily. Okay.
Thank you, Dhanaji. We have two more questions.
Mm.
The first one is, I feel weak in front of problems that come up. So how can I get stronger in myself?
Weak. Why would you feel weak? I mean, if you energize every day and do Mahamudra, you're going to feel stronger already. If you do it, and someone was telling me, I'm so proud of that person, they do it twice a day. Energize twice a day. Watch your diet, watch your actions. I mean, a Kriya Bansha feels strong rather than weak, isn't it? You feel stronger and stronger day by day. You're stronger and stronger. Tests come, you might feel a little weakened, but I found if I keep the sadhana going, keep strong, then the test will come, it's over. Then I'm back up. A health challenge comes over, then you're back up. But if you don't do the practices, long time, long, these things, they stick around. I remember Swamiji said some mood came to him and no, it had bigger than a mood. It was some egoic thing. And finally he just said, "Get out!" He shouted and it went away. If you wanted to go away, get it out of your system. Talk to Babaji and Lahiri Mahashayaji and Guruji. Talk to Swami Shrikteswaraji. Say, I don't want this anymore. Here again, it's not going to come easily. You have to work at it. And for a long time, typically. For the long time, doctor was practicing Kriya, then master finally said, you only need 1 or 2 now. So he would just go up into a deep state after 1 or 2 Kriyas. So it takes time.
The final question, Dhanaji. How do I know that God knows my need and is helping me?
Gee, I mean, you should feel something. Here is what I would say is don't look for the answer in the thing that you asked for. I mean, don't look at the result has to be that he heard my prayer because I got my new job. Or I got my new house, God heard my prayer. This happened, You have to put it out there and then watch and wait and watch. And ask for the right thing to happen. You see, there's a difference. And this is the way I've gotten out a lot of difficulties. I just said, Master, what you want is what I want. If you don't want it, take it away. I don't want it. If this is the wrong thing to pray for, I don't want it. Now that's a hard prayer because people know I want it. I want it. Give it to me like a little child. Give it to me. Give it to me. But if you say, no, I don't want it. You can say if that new job, if that job I've chosen isn't the right job, don't give it to me. Give me the job you want me to have. I'll just keep looking. You see the difference? Or you end up in a job that's terrible, but you wanted it. Deal with it. See the difference? So you've got to, so how do you know? You know if you feel Master's smile, I would say. I'll tell you my example for me is this weekend I needed to give Kriya in Hindi. Now that's not easy, I'm telling you. I've done it many times now over the past 2 years, but it certainly still is one of the biggest challenges in my life, basically. And I pray and I pray, help me to be able to serve the Hindi Sangha. I pray about it almost every day. And do I work for it? Definitely. I'm studying every day. And then during that time of the Kriya on Saturday, I felt Master's power. I felt his joy. I felt he was happy about it during the Kriya, and afterwards I felt a smile in my heart. Now I could have gone the other way and said, no, I'm not going to do that. That's too hard. I'm not going to do it. I would have felt small. I felt expansive. I felt joyful. I felt happy. That's a concrete example. And I would say to all of you, get something, challenge yourself. Get something that's, you need to do it, but you just keep avoiding. You keep avoiding. I don't want to, please don't make me. Just do it and ask the Guru's power to flow through you to make it happen. They can do anything through us, but so many people are, they just don't put out the energy. Like frontline people don't do anything. Go out and do this. Okay, go out. Swamiji loved it. He tell you go out, start a restaurant. All right. How do you know anything about a restaurant? No, I don't. Go start a store. Okay. Go out and do this. All right. Go around teaching. Yeah, okay. But who has the power? God, Guru. God through the Guru. The more you realize that, the more you can do. And finally, who liberates us? God through the Guru. Who takes away all the karma that we can't work off on the Kriya? With Kriya, God and the Guru. So the more we get linked with Master and say, I can't do it by myself, but with you, I know you can help me. I know you are helping me. I'm with you, Master. Whatever you want, then you feel the smile of his love, his joy in your heart. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.